of gaming event. I'm so excited. I hope you are too. This is a really special day, and I'm excited to do this live on YouTube. We've, for the past 5 years, always had these big E3 shows in the summer, and of course, this summer is very different for all of us for a number of reasons. And I still think it's so important for the community around the world to come together to celebrate games. So over the next hour, we've got an amazing pre-show with some incredible YouTube creators from around the world who will be joining us. Some of them will be joining us live. Some will be joining us on tape. And we're just going to come together to celebrate games. And then at the top of the hour, of course, will be the PlayStation 5 stream that we'll all watch together live right here. And then afterwards, we're going to have a post-show with reactions and some other great stuff as well tied to this reveal. I do think it's just important to mention, though, everything that has happened this year so far that has brought us to this state. If you asked me in January if I'd be sitting in a spare room here in Los Angeles broadcasting the PlayStation 5 event, which is going to be this pre-taped video, it just would have been inconceivable to me. But we've obviously gone through a lot over the past few months with the COVID pandemic and how that's impacted the entire video game landscape, especially for events. And then more recently with, of course, everything that's happened with the sort of systemic racism and violence against the Black community. It's been disheartening to sort of see everything that's happened over the past few weeks, and spirit breaking for a lot of us, I think, to have 2020 be a year that has come with so much that has weighed on us. And I don't want to do anything more than just acknowledge that right now and say that I think one of the great things about games is that it brings us together as a community. I've always loved games, that it allows us to play different roles and it see things from different perspectives and understand the world in new and unique ways. And I think we found a lot of comfort in gaming, and the fact that this is a new console year is really exciting. And I hope this is a moment where we can kind of, for a couple of hours, just gather as a community around the world and celebrate how much this passion point means to all of us and get excited about the future of this meeting. Today is about PlayStation, but I also think it's about the future of games and how exciting gaming is, that it's this blend of technology, entertainment, and that means the games always get better. And this is a big moment to see what the next 5 to 7 years of gaming is going to look like. And Sony has called the ball by saying this is the future of gaming. So I'm really excited to see what they have for us. So anyways, we've got a lot of great guests that will join us over the next hour to talk about our predictions for PlayStation and what we expect to see. But before we get into that, I wanted to kind of recap a little bit on what we do know so far about PlayStation 5. And we will have, again, as I mentioned, a live event, which we can all watch together here live at the top of the hour. So thank you for joining us in these kind of unusual circumstances, but I'm really, really excited about what we're about to see today. So PlayStation 5, a lot of people have been wondering, what are we going to get to see today? PlayStation 4, I remember being in New York City for the PlayStation meeting, which was, I think, at the end of February. It's like February 20th, if I remember right. And that was a big moment of PlayStation, and people wondered, were they going to show the box? Well, they didn't, but they showed a lot of great games and talked about the system. This is different. This is not a PlayStation meeting. It's PlayStation 5, the future of gaming. We're obviously going to see games, and that's going to be a big part of it. People want to know more about the PlayStation 5 hardware. What can we expect? Are we going to see the box today? I don't know. It feels like it's going to be more about the games today. What we have seen is the PlayStation 5 controller, DualSense. That was sort of surprisingly dropped on the internet a little while ago, and you can see it here. Really cool two-tone look to it. And one of the things that is unfortunate, given the fact that we're all kind of staying at home and not going to events, is I haven't had a chance to hold this. I don't think many people have. And when you talk to a lot of game developers, talk about the haptics of the controller and a lot of the interesting things that Sony is doing with this controller. And it looks really unique and different. It's a bit of a redesign from the traditional DualShock. But from what I've heard, there's a lot of interesting technology inside of that controller. So it looks futuristic, but also has a lot of futuristic technology in it. And hopefully we'll learn a little bit about that today. In terms of the games, we know that we're going to see PlayStation 5 games, and we've gotten some hints of what PlayStation 5 might be capable of. Many of you probably watched Mark Cerny's talk back in March, I think, like 15 plus million views on YouTube, about his road to PlayStation 5. And he's such a a brilliant author and architect of the platform, thinking of how we can really push the medium forward with this dedicated hardware and a new console generation. And you've probably heard of the SSD drive in the PS5 and how that's going to enable new types of games and experiences, not just better graphics. And that's something hopefully we'll hear a bit about today. The first game, though, for PlayStation 5 was we saw was at the Game Awards back in December. You may remember there was a title named Godfall that was revealed with a trailer near the top of the show. And a lot of people sort of got excited about it. And it was a bit of a surprise that the PlayStation logo was on that trailer. And it was, I think, the first confirmed game that was going to be coming to the PlayStation 5. So Godfall, we don't know if it'll be included in today's event, but they've been teasing a little bit on social media with some visuals and whatnot over the past few weeks. So I would not be surprised if we see something on that today. But that was sort of our first glimpse of PlayStation 5. And then, of course, the other thing that recently happened that got a lot of excitement was the Unreal Engine 5 reveal that I was honored to do alongside Tim Sweeney and the team at Epic Games. And obviously a lot of speculation and excitement around what Unreal Engine 5 is going to be able to do with PlayStation 5. You can see a little bit of footage here of it. It's got a new technology, including nanite, that allows them to do incredibly detailed worlds and full global illumination. This is all happening in real time in game world. And as many of you know, Unreal Engine powers a lot of the big games out there across the industry. So this was a great glimpse at where games might go in the future. And this is a technology demo. We're not going to see this game announced today at the event or anything. I think this was really a tech demo, but it is playable. And I think captured all our imaginations about where games are going to go. And no, this is not probably what every game shipping this holiday season is going to look like. But when you see that flight moment with her flying through the air, and you just get excited about that, whether it's 2 years away or 4 years away, we're eventually going to get there. And that's what's so exciting about games, that, you see that and you just get naturally excited about the future of this medium. So that's a little bit of kind of what we know so far about PlayStation 5. I expect we'll have some new game announcements today. Sony's first-party studios have been very quiet about what they've been working on for PlayStation 5. Of course, we know The Last of Us Part 2 is coming out next week from Naughty Dog, and then Ghost of Tsushima from Sucker Punch for PS4. So there are two big PS4 games still to come. But what Sony's Worldwide Studios Group and Herman Hulst and the team have been putting together for PlayStation 5, hopefully we'll get a little bit of a tease of that today. One thing I have heard is that, this is and I think Jim Ryan, the CEO of PlayStation, said this is the start of the sort of PlayStation 5 story. It's not everything all in one event. So, there will likely be things that will be held until later this year. And will we see the console? Will every game get announced? It's I think we're in a mode now where game companies are spreading their news out a little bit. So I think we'll have a lot of news today, but it doesn't mean that's everything. And I'm sure there will be more to share over the coming months as we lead into holiday 2020. So it's going to be an exciting day. The countdown clock is up, and we are ready to get onto it. About 45 minutes until the live stream starts from PlayStation. And we're going to run that here live, so we'll watch that. We're not going to commentate over it. We really want to just all experience it together live, and then we'll come back with the post-show after. But right now, we're going to bring in some special guests from around the world to talk about PlayStation and what we expect. And one of the things that was important to me with this show is let's bring everyone together. We've got some great YouTube creators from around the world that'll be joining us, and even from far off places like India. They've submitted videos, and I hope you'll see some familiar faces that you've seen on YouTube, but also other gamers introduced to them around the world. And what unites us all is this love of gaming and PlayStation. So let's kind of jump right into it with our first panel and welcome our first guest, someone you know very well, who's, I think, sufficiently excited about all things PlayStation. We've got Matt Pat joining us, the game theorist. Hello, Matt.
Hey, Jeff. Thanks for having me on.
Great to have you on as well. We're excited about all things PlayStation. We've also got Jack Septic Eye joining us live. Hello, Jack.
Hi, Jeff. How's it going?
It's going well. Your camera's looking good.
You too. Excited. Can we just compliment each other's depth of field right now?
I was going to say we're doing our best for PlayStation, which is exciting. And also joining us live from Los Angeles, my good buddy Lamar Wilson. Lamar, what's going on?
Doing well, man. How are you doing? Good to see you. Got some generic superheroes behind me so we don't get copyright I'm
hints,
here
right?
None.
Chess game PS5 about to be announced. All right. Well, Lamar, great to have you with us. So,
Thank you. Thank you.
Matt, Jack, we're going to talk a bit about all things PlayStation 5 here. First of all, let me turn it over to you guys. Like, what do you want to see today? Like, it's like it's PlayStation 5, the future of gaming. So, everyone's really hyped, but like, what's your expectation? Maybe let's start with you, Matt. Like, what do you want to see today?
I really want to see the box. Honestly, I know that that's in question, but there have been so many interesting images of what the hypothetical design for this thing looks like. I just wanted to know, is this actually going to look like my futuristic space grill, or is it going to be another kind of like flat black rectangle? Don't get me wrong, I'm excited about the games. Obviously, there's a lot of PlayStation exclusive titles that I really want to see more footage of. But I mean, to really feel like this is a big announcement, to me, I need to see physical evidence of what this thing is going to look like.
All right, fair point. Yeah, we will see. I don't know. I mean, Sony's been doing things in an interesting way this year. It's like they might also just like drop that on like Twitter right before the event or something, or who knows?
Right, it's just going to appear in an Instagram story and then fade away within 24 hours.
I mean, you have no idea, right? It's
Right.
there's not a physical event, right? Even what this video is like, is it going to be? Will people be talking? Will it just be trailers? Will it be everyone on webcam? Like, no one knows. Jack Takai, what's I know you love the game, and you love PlayStation franchises, so I'm sure you have some hopefully some predictions on what you'd like to see game wise too, right?
Yeah, I want to see Knack 3. Everyone's waiting for it. Where is it? I want to see an announcement for it finally.
Mark Cerny is sitting at home right now, and he just
write that down. Write that down. I keep hearing rumors of Bloodborne, PlayStation 5, PC, and we've seen Sony come out and say that certain games are coming to PC. Horizon is coming. So I'm really excited to potentially get that. A bunch of people who are verified on Twitter keep saying it, so it must be true. And I just want to see maybe Horizon 2, since Herman took over. Maybe that'll be his new thing to show off. He can show us what the PS5 can do with that, because it looks so good on PS4 already. And maybe our boy Corey will come back and surprise us all with a new God of War. But that's pipe dream. That's out there with Knack 3 for me right now. But I hope both happen.
Amazing studios around the world, so many franchises. You said those are all like plausible things that they would do at some point, but it's like, will they announce all those today or just a couple? Like, that's what we'll sort of have to see. Yeah. But yeah, good predictions. Lamar, what's for you? What would excite you? What would surprise you and delight you today if Sony talked about?
Yeah, so I really like Sony and the PlayStation 4, their exclusives. I think that's where they really stand out. So I want to see Ratchet and Clank. I want to see a brand new one. I've loved that since the PS3. I didn't get a chance to play it on the PS2, so I definitely want to see more of that. New Spider-Man game has to happen, or I'm going to have an uprising. It needs to happen. And of course, I'll go with Jack with Horizon 2. That's what needs to happen. And who doesn't want to see hardware, just like Matt said? So hardware, Spider-Man, I'm good.
Okay. So these are all, franchises we love. Sony's done such a great job with them. It's interesting that, The Last of Us 2, which is probably one of the defining games of this generation, is like next week. So there's still lots of PS4 left.
Right.
Based on what you guys have read and heard about PS5, like how do you want, or how do you think games are going to change in the next generation? Because PS4 is already, so incredible, and we're seeing amazing graphics and content. Like, what's going to make you guys jump to PS5? Is it just that you want, Sony delivers for you, so you always want to get the next one, or is there things about it that you get excited about, conceptually on like what the leap is?
I think for me, if I can jump in, I think for me, it's all about what narratives does this new generation of console open up, right? I think the biggest question I have going into these announcements, both with the PS5 and with the Xbox Series X, is what is the differentiating factor for why we still need consoles, right? Obviously, it's more tech. Obviously, the graphics are improved, the speeds are faster. But what is the leap that's going to change gaming? And to me, so much of this like photorealism that we're getting in gaming right now is opening the door to deeper narratives, stuff that's going to be more immersive, stuff that's going to really put us in the mind's eye of the characters we're playing as. And I'm hoping that, like, yeah, in addition to kind of your fun games that you can play with friends on cycle and on repeat and things like that, I really want to see more games like Last of Us Part 2. That's the sort of thing that's really going to differentiate and say, hey, we are a storytelling art form here in gaming, and we have the technology now to really achieve the sky's the limit for whatever these fictional narratives are.
Yeah, I think deep storytelling is what's important here. I think that's where Sony really excels. As I mentioned about the exclusive, so seeing really good stories and having it where it really feels like you're engrossed in it, where there's no load times or minimal load times, where you're going from story event to story event, so you're really diving deep into it. That's what I like about games like The Last of Us 2, Horizon, which was a Zero Dawn, which is a great game, and I'm just looking for more depth.
Yeah, I think a lot of the stuff we're seeing with like the technology with Unreal Engine 5 and everything, where everyone's talking about ray tracing. That's the next big thing that we're going to see. And I'm sure lighting quality and texture quality and everything and streaming budgets and all that stuff gets, like, it just gets bigger as the generations go on. And that's always an important thing. But for me, what's really interesting is, considering I've been playing Bloodborne and all those games again recently, the load times are just obnoxious at times. And when you go to something, I remember playing XCOM 2 on my PlayStation and then going to PC, and the load times are like 10 seconds versus a minute sometimes. And that is what I'm really looking forward to. Just getting into the game, getting the OS to be faster, going between store, between apps, between games, and then just seeing, now that it actually supports 120 FPS, I want to see if we finally, are we going to keep doing that thing where we get photoreal but stay at 30, or are we going to start breaching forward and go more or less photoreal, maybe even the same, or go to 60, or even are we going to see games really push that 120 FPS limit? Because again, so many people have PCs now, and hardware there has become affordable in the mid-tier range where people can get 120 FPS, that I think that people are kind of going between both now, and we have so much cross-play happening that it'll be really interesting to see how fast the hardware is to push all those. Because graphics are always going to get better, mocap will get better, and the narratives and everything will keep evolving as we go. But I'm really excited to see just how strong and fast this system is, especially after Mark Cerny talk about it and talk about the 3D audio and talk about how fast that SSD is. It'll be really interesting to see it in practice.
Yeah, they said that we should make sure to watch the event with headphones on, which I thought was curious because they're like some interesting 3D audio in it. So you guys are all.
We would hear Mark Cerny's voice all around our heads,
surrounding your heads.
It's like, it's going to be interesting to me to see what they do. As you said, I think you guys captured it right. Like, there's some amazing franchises. That whole narrative a few years ago, but like the single player game was dying, I think has kind of passed us by, and people love great stories and incredible, rich, detailed worlds, which Sony delivers. But as Matt said in the background, there's a question of, do we still need a console? What is going into the cloud? And, how's your phone going to interface with this? And it'll be interesting to see how much this presentation is about the games versus like the hardware story and the UI and here's what we're doing with PlayStation Now and all these other things. Or is it just going to be like, hey, let's capture your imagination with these incredible worlds and games, and all the other stuff will come later. And I don't know how technical it will be, because obviously Mark Cerny's talk was extremely technical. As he said in his talk, now comes the fun part. And I think this is the start of the fun today. So before we wrap up, is there anything that Sony could do to screw this up today? Like, expectations are really high. People love PlayStation. The system has done incredibly well around the world. They make great games. The rumors are a little out of control, I think, in terms of things that some people are expecting today. So is there anything that you guys would say, like, hey, if this doesn't happen, I'll be disappointed, or things that you want them to do that they may not do? Because that's the other thing, is like, I worry that there's so much expectations that if there's not 12 first party games announced, people are like, what happened? Anything for you guys that might concern you if they do or don't?
I feel like they really need to either, they might not show off what the actual console looks like, and everyone really wants to see what it looks like, and we all see that dev kit with the giant V, and part of me kind of loves it, but either show off the console or give us a price. I think if people get either one of those, it'll give us something to kind of bite down on and to kind of look forward to. Of course, show games. I feel like more games and less talking is always a good point.
To me, I was going to say the same thing. The biggest place that they can misstep, I think, is price point, right? That's always the area that people are most sensitive about. It's the one that directly affects us as the consumers. And, you know, when they announced the PS3 price, it was a big punch in the gut to a lot of people who were excited about this. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, I'm not that excited about this. And I don't think we're going to get a price. If I were to make a prediction, I think they're going to wait to see what Xbox has in their, whatever their next announcement is. And then we'll get the price point a little bit down the line. But if they are brave enough to kind of launch a price out there, that's the one thing that I think will absolutely sink the ship if it's too high.
Yeah, I'm a little different on this. Obviously, I want to see all of that, but I really want to see gameplay. I think trailers are nice. I know this is the summer, and that's when trailers come out. But I think people want to see how this runs with actual gameplay, even if it's just a little bit. And so I'm more concerned about that. And I think there'll be some people disappointed that doesn't come to fruition.
Yeah,
that's a great point, Oliver, because it should it's. Yeah, sorry, Jeff.
No, sorry, go ahead, Jeff.
Yeah, it's like, I think you're right, because if it's just a wall-to-wall trailers and CG trailers and everything, it's people like, I want to see what these games are actually going to look and play like. And even after the Unreal demo, everyone's like, it's real time, but is that real? And like, just, you know, it would be amazing. Someone just picks up a controller and just plays something, right? And we'll see. Like, this is like, it's such a new, different format to have this coming out as like a pre-recorded video that we're all watching. And it's like, you know, it was probably completed a week ago and sitting on someone's hard drive. And it's like, hey, we're about to hit play. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. All right, well, thanks for joining us, guys. We will all watch together, and it's going to be, I think, a fun day for all of us to see our dreams come to life. Hopefully, in the next half hour, or the internet will rage. So we'll see what's in store. But I'm excited about it, and thanks for joining us under these unusual circumstances. Hopefully, we'll see all you guys in person soon.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
For sure.
Thanks for having us, Jeff.
Thanks, Jeff.
Right, thanks, guys. Matt, Pat, Jack, Type the Guy, and Lamar Wilson, great to have you guys with us. Now, another person who was with me for the PlayStation 4 reveal in New York City is a guy named Kyle Bossman. Kyle and I worked together back when I worked at MTV and Spike TV. And at the time, Kyle was a production assistant on my show for TV. And the producer of that show, Jeremy Hoffman and I came up with an idea in 2013 to put him on camera for the first time, because we thought he's just such a cool, interesting guy. And we came up with this idea of like, why don't you do this video about what you think Sony should do and not do at their PlayStation meeting? And we ran that video in 2013 in February as Kyle's first ever on-camera appearance. And ever since then, you've probably seen him on the internet. He's such an incredible voice and creator in his own right. So I asked Kyle this weekend, I said, hey, you want to do a PlayStation 5 do's and don'ts for what Sony should do this time around? And he graciously agreed. So without further ado, here is Kyle Bossman with his do's and don'ts for the PlayStation 5 event.
Hello, I'm Kyle Bossman, expert video watcher. Here are my do's and don'ts for Sony's PlayStation 5 reveal. Do gameplay demos. So from what I understand, you've already said you're broadcasting this stream at 1080p 30 frames per second. Any case you're going to try to make for graphical fidelity and higher frame rates is lost there. That's opening a can of beef ravioli and going, trust me, this smells very good. We can't. So I do think that today, sustained gameplay demos will be important. Last year, Mark Cerny showed Wired a demo of Spider-Man flying through New York City at the speed of a jet. Why haven't we seen that yet? I watched that for 4 hours. Don't overvalue a title reveal. So I know trailers got to happen. They serve a purpose. I want to talk about a very particular type of trailer, the title reveal trailer. These are trailers that you don't get to see much of the actual game, right? It's mostly a tease, and then the impact is the title at the end. These get the people who watch videos to scream and push over chairs. This is all publishers ever want. However, much like a promise ring, title reveal trailers are hard to pull off. If you want people to get excited by just your title, you must be one of two things: an unlikely sequel or long presumed dead. If you do not exhibit either of these qualities, we either already know you're coming or don't know what you're talking about, and so you will have to show more of your game. If you're still confused, let's play a little game called Is the Title Enough? Spider-Man 2, no. Horizon Zero Dawn sequel, no. Project Legend Fall, no. Bloodborne 2, yup. Ratchet and Clank, butt left, no. Silent Hill. Sorry, this actually would have been an easy yes, but it leaked too much. You got to show some of that game. God of War, Ragnarok. No. Todd Howard's Reverse Hard Troth. No. Batman, Arkham Anything. No. Ape Escape 4, Monkey Ranch. I'll cry. Demon Souls Remastered. No. NASCAR in Hell. You know what? I'm very interested. Do be fashionably humble. The whole world is depressed and angry right now, with the exception of New Zealand, of course. We have less tolerance for smugness than ever before. So if you're coming out here with your webcam, your laptop microphones, behave yourselves. Nobody wants to see your porcelain dining room, Shuhei Yoshida. In fact, it's probably worth taking a page out of the playbook of late-night talk show hosts, finding the most relatable corner of your presumably very expensive home to stash your camera in. Works for me. I'm in a hot tub right now, and you never know. Don't knack. That's all the advice I have for you today, Sony. If you do those do's and don't do those don'ts, I'm positive you will continue to smash Instagram gaming records for years to come. Good luck.
Kyle Bossman, thank you for that, Kyle. I always had to have a little knack mention in there. All right. Thank you, Kyle. Lots of do's and don'ts. And as I think we've all been saying, we don't know quite how Sony is going to present this today. Will there be real people in it? Will it just be a voiceover like a Nintendo Direct? Will it be all trailers? Like, we really have no idea. And they've been, extremely secretive about what this presentation is. We know it's about an hour in length, a little bit longer than an hour from what we've heard. But exactly how long it is and what format it takes is an opportunity, I think, to learn about games in hopefully a new and different way. And Sony always does their events in a really unique way. So I'm personally really excited to see what the team at PlayStation has put together. Now, one new thing we're going to do this year is meet some new game creators and hear from some YouTube creators from around the world. One of the things over the past few years that has really excited me is seeing with the Game Awards how it's grown around the globe. And a brand like PlayStation is truly global, and the world will be watching today. So a few YouTube creators from around the world sent in videos talking a little bit about their excitement for today's event, and we'll take a look at those now.
Hey everyone, how's it going? I am, like so many others, so excited about PlayStation 5. I remember as a kid when the first one was released and how amazing it looked, and then the second, the third, and even with the fourth one, waiting in line at midnight the day of the release, getting the box, and I remember the excitement of opening it, turning it on, grabbing the controller and testing the games for the first time. I know I'm going to feel the same way when this one is released. I feel like there's something very special about each PlayStation and how it defines video games for a whole generation, right? I'm really excited to see what new games we get, but I'm also really excited to see more games brought back from the past, kind of like what they've done with the Crash Bandicoot saga or Resident Evil remakes, for example. Like, I love that nostalgic thing about, these video games that we played when we were kids and things like that. Also super excited about the new ones. I've loved like Spider-Man, for example, like how it looks, how it feels, the freedom, like what are we going to be capable of doing with the games on this new console, and how is it going to break with what we've been doing until now, right? So super excited, paying a lot of attention to everything that you guys did today. I hope you're super excited too, and I'll see you online playing PlayStation 5.
I am so excited for the PS5 coming out because, honestly, this is a system that has represented a lot in my family over the years. We've had a lot of fights, a lot of good times and bad times between, battling for loot and champions and Norrath, me and my cousins and my uncles trying to out-level each other, all the way into me and my cousin waking up Christmas morning, both getting copies of one of our favorite games ever, Shadow of the Colossus, and trying to beat all the Colossuses against one another on a race to finish first while I was running upstairs to see how far he was. And he would come downstairs and check on me and be like, oh yeah, I already beat that guy 2 Colossus ago. Still looking back at that Christmas is one of my favorite moments ever. I look at God of War 3 and the cinematic experience and story and the way God of Wars have been so indicative of these consoles and how the development of story and the development of visuals and development of, I think, trailblazing as far as the industry has come has been integrated between these amazing franchises. And for me, PS5, it's an opportunity to do more. It's an opportunity for the new franchises to come out that will sweep our hearts away and really keep us living and breathing in that love of fantasy and a love of gaming and love of community shared through that process that, inspired me to become a YouTuber to this day. I wish that PS5 had all of their lineup ready to go right now because I would dive immediately into it, but I'll patiently wait. I'm really excited for Godfall, to be honest. I think this is a game that, my dad's still playing a ton of Gearbox Borderlands 3 nonstop every day right now. He and I would have a lot of fun messing around with that one. The visuals obviously stunning. But for me, it's an exciting moment when a new console comes out, especially PlayStation's, because again, they're so good at helping to innovate and helping to empower creativity and empower new experiences for gamers alike that I can only imagine what this next generation of consoles, and especially with the PlayStation 5, is going to hold, and the memories that are going to be made for new gamers as well as old gamers like me throughout the next years to come. Very, very excited, and couldn't be more happy to be around with PlayStation 5.
Hey, hola amigas, amigos, yo soy Antrax, soy de México y wow, el día de hoy se presenta la PlayStation 5, una serie de consolas que sin duda ha marcado mi infancia y la de muchos. Cómo olvidar en la sala cuando jugaba con mi hermana de pequeño, horas y horas de diversión, de aventura, de experiencias, y el día de hoy se presenta el futuro de los videojuegos. Sin duda, ya muero por probarlo y pues vamos a ver qué ha preparado PlayStation.
All right. Thanks very much, Dantrax. We've got more YouTube creators that will be joining us as we lead up to the live event. We are about 20 minutes away now from the live stream from PlayStation, and we'll, of course, be running it live right here, and we'll all watch this together. And then, as I mentioned earlier, we'll have a big post show over an hour of additional content after the briefing from PlayStation, and I'm really excited to dive into that after the show. All right, well, right now we're going to get to another panel. 3 more YouTube guests from around the world joining us to talk to today. First up, joining us all the way across the pond, our good buddy, Ali A. Ali, great to have you with us live. Look at that, in the actual setup. Love it. How you doing, man? Great to have you with us. We've also got Lauren's side. Lauren, great to have you with us live. Looking very pink and looking good. I like it. Or purple, I guess I should say, right? All right. Also joining us from LA, Valkyrie. Valk, what's up?
Hi.
What's up? Oh, look at that. With a candle. I like it. You're bringing the right mood. I like it. All right. This is good. I need to get some candles in my setup. I got to do that. All right. Great to have you, Ray. So Ali, Lauren, Ray, this is a big moment for all of us. Let me go around and ask you guys, first of all, what's your favorite PlayStation memory, of all the games over the years or anything? We've all been playing PlayStation in different ways. Do you guys have any games or systems or anything that stand out to you as particularly resonant memories?
My very first gaming, even memory before I even owned anything, was going to my uncle's house, and he'd have a PlayStation 1, but it would never be set up all the time. He'd pull it out just for when me and my brother would come over, and we'd play one of the original Lara Croft games. So much fun. That actually got me into gaming. So it all started with PlayStation, technically.
Oh, that's amazing. I had no idea. All right. Well, that's cool. We'll see. Lara Croft is always around. I don't know if she'll be there today, but I'm sure they'll get Tomb Raider in due time. Ray, what about you? Do you have any favorite memories in the past of things PlayStation related?
Oh yeah, my all-time favorite memory is I was always the one that played video games, and I have a younger sister, and she always just watched me, and it was such a great way for us to bond. And I remember I played Kingdom Hearts and just I don't know, it's just a great way to bond with the family. Love it.
I the dog. You've got the perfect setup for me. The dog, the candle. I feel calm all of a sudden. It's this is the way to do it. All right. Well, yes, Kingdom Hearts, such a classic franchise. And yeah, we just had the most recent Kingdom Hearts, so I don't know if we'll get another one today, but who knows?
Maybe.
Lauren, all things PlayStation. Where did it start for you? Do you remember which PlayStation?
So I missed PlayStation 1. My audio is good, right? Sorry,
Yeah, you're
my
good.
mic
We
was
can hear you
on.
now.
I missed PlayStation 1. My parents had bought Nintendo 64 and they were like, that's good enough for a while. Like, you guys can play with that. But then PlayStation 2 was like when my gaming really took off. And I would play, Kingdom Hearts 1, 2. SSX Tricky is like one of my favorite games, and it's so hard to find. I recently wanted to like rebuy the PlayStation 2 version of it. I can't find it anywhere. But yeah, that was one of my first consoles that had me like gaming for hours. So holds a special place in my heart. PlayStation 2.
Yeah, no, I mean, all of us. I remember like going to the first E3, seeing PlayStation 1, and just like it's been amazing to see the legacy of all these systems, and that's why today I think is special. Obviously, we know a little bit about the system. We've seen the controller. We've seen some hints of some games, but as you guys as we roll into this in 20 minutes now, like, what do you guys what do you want to see? Like, what's going to excite you? I mean, the world's in such like a weird place right now. Like, are there certain games that you really want to see? Do you just want to get excited about graphics and like hear about the controller and how it's going to work? Or let's start with you, Ali. Like, what do you we'll see if Fortnite next gen is there. Probably not.
I know. I would take Fortnite for sure. But for me, having actually come from playing exclusively consoles and recently moving to PC, but still plugging in a controller, my PlayStation 4 controller, it's not very well known, but actually there's a little bit of delay when using your controller on the PlayStation, and it's minimal, but I think reducing little things like that will help competitive games. It will help even casual players and match up closer with the PC experience where everything's a lot sleeker. There's actually less input delay. Obviously, I want to hear more about the FPS and the refresh rate that this console can handle. Again, pushing PC sort of specs, loading games quickly. I know everyone wants to see the console. I don't know if that's going to happen, but I will be very happy if it does. I think everyone will be very happy if they show it.
Yep. No, that's the big question is like, what is it going to look like? Because we've seen the controller and it's different, right? It's that dual tone with the white. So like, is the system going to be white this time? Or like, what are the aesthetics, right, of PlayStation 5? We'll have to see. Ray, what for you? What's like what would excite you today?
Oh my gosh, I love story games like the Dark Souls series, Bloodborne. I wish that would be such a surprise if there ever was going to be a Bloodborne 2, which is probably not ever going to happen. But I am looking forward to Elden Ring because it's similar to those type of games. So if they actually showed some more stuff on that, I would be so excited. But pretty much any story game, I love looking forward to new games. So give me anything good.
No, they're so good about, as you said, great narrative and characters and these worlds. And they look like so beautiful. And that's what I think, like I always say, the artistry of these things like can really capture you, and even sometimes how they present them and like the dramatic reveal of like what the game is and the character. And you don't think it's an Uncharted game, and then it is. I remember that one year at PSX, and it's like, I'm sure there'll be some theatrical moments to how this stuff is presented. And they certainly teased that they think they've tried to duplicate what it feels like to be in a big live room with those like I remember when The Last Guardian one year at E3 when it came back and everyone got like so excited. It'll be interesting to see like how they present that, because we're all watching at home virtually, and there's I don't think there's any live crowd, right, to cheer along or react to. So it's gonna be different. But I agree, like those would be amazing things. Lauren, for you, like sounds like SSX Tricky, I guess, could come back today. We don't know, but what's
I want them to put like all the old games on like a streaming catalog where you could just like play them. I would love that. I doubt that's coming, but I think anything, because I'm such a big, such a big PC gamer. Anything that gives me something a little extra that PC gaming can't. So like the controller, I'm super excited about with the haptics. I want to see how that feels. I was reading about like trigger tension, so you might be able to get the sensation of like bow and arrow. Just little things like that I can't get from like a keyboard and mouse setup. I heard that there might be some like new audio things going on that I'm kind of excited about. That's why they were telling people to try and wear headphones for the press conference. So just all those little things that make me more immersed in the story that I can't get from a PC gaming, like I'm all for the new console.
No, and that's the stuff that is so interesting, that talking to like new audio technologies, like this amazing controller, and none of us get to hold it. Yeah, at least. And he said, like, if the feel of like a bow and arrow, you're exactly right. Like, how is that going to feel, and how do you represent that to people when you just have to watch on a video? So we'll see. But yeah, I'm really excited about it. Thanks, guys, for joining us. I'm excited to watch it all with you. Definitely got my candles ready for the post show. I think that's my big note, Ray. All right. Thanks to Ali, Lauren, and Ray for stopping by. We've now got another group of YouTube creators from around the world who wanted to stop in and share their excitement for all things PlayStation 5, including 2 creators from India. This is exciting to hear from new YouTube creators around the world as well. Let's hear from them right now.
Hey guys, my name is Balu and I'm a content creator on YouTube, and I've been playing games since I was actually a little kid. And right now PlayStation 5 is finally coming out, so I'm super excited for this because this actually brings back a lot of memories, because I used to play a lot of PlayStation at my friend's home because we used to play a lot of FIFA, a lot of racing games, and we just used to connect our controllers and see who is the better player. So finally PlayStation 5 is coming out, so I'm going to get it for myself and I'm going to invite my friends over at my place, and we'll actually see who's actually good at the game right now. But I'm super excited to try out the new PlayStation 5 because obviously there's going to be new controller, better graphics, and there's a lot of cool games coming up for 2020 and 2021 as well. So I want to try and see what those games actually feels like, even some of the old games. So I want to see what exactly has changed, and I'm super looking forward for this because, Fortnite is still going to be there. So I want to see if I can crank some 90s on Fortnite, and yeah, hopefully you guys are excited for PlayStation 5 just like I am, and yeah, peace out.
Hi there, my name is Claudio Prandoni. I'm from the website The Enemy from Brazil, and one of my first PlayStation memories is exactly from the first PlayStation console, and of course I'm talking about Final Fantasy VII. By the time that the game came out in the West, I was around 11 years old, and I got really impressed by the characters, the story, the amazing soundtrack, and the world that Square managed to create thanks to the technology behind the first PlayStation. Recently, we got to relive some of that magic again with Final Fantasy VII Remake on the PS4, and well, here we are, ready to see the PlayStation 5 and a whole new generation of exciting games that I'm really looking forward to see and to play. Thanks.
Hello fellas, मेरा नाम है शुभ. On YouTube, I'm also known as Beast Boy शुभ. अगर मैं बात करूं अपने पहले कंसोल एक्सपीरियंस की, तो PS4 मेरी जिंदगी का फर्स्ट कंसोल था जो मैंने यूज किया था कुछ 2 साल पहले, और इस पर जो फर्स्ट गेम मैंने खेली थी वो थी गॉड ऑफ वॉर. ऑनेस्टली बताऊं तो पहली बार जब मैंने PS4 यूज किया था मुझे बहुत अजीब लगा था, क्योंकि इसके कंट्रोलर में इतने सारे बटन्स हैं. आई वाज टोटली कंफ्यूज्ड. इन रोलर्स को हैंडल करना और इन बटन्स को समझना इतना मुश्किल था शुरुआत में. मैं अपने मेन कैरेक्टर को संभाल भी नहीं पा रहा था वीडियो गेम में. कुछ घंटों तक खेलने के बाद भी मैं यही सोच रहा था कि ये मशीन मेरे लिए बनी है या नहीं. बट जैसे जैसे मैं गेम्स खेलता गया मैंने रियलाइज करा कि PS4 पर गेम खेलना कितना इजी और रिलैक्सेशन से भरा है. PS4 खरीदने की चॉइस मुझे मेरी वन ऑफ द बेस्ट चॉइस लगी, बिकॉज मेरा PC इतना हाईटेक नहीं है, वो इतनी हैवी गेम्स नहीं रन कर सकता था, और PS4 के साथ मैंने इतनी अच्छी मेमोरीज बनाई हैं. अब हमारे सामने आ रहा है PS5 एक नए डिजाइन के साथ, कुछ नए फीचर्स के साथ. मैं बहुत ज्यादा एक्साइटेड हूँ PS5 एक्सक्लूसिव्स के लिए जो हमें आगे देखने को मिलेंगी. 2020 की आने वाली भयंकर गेम्स लेटेस्ट कंसोल पे खेलने का मजा ही कुछ और होगा. मैं बहुत एक्साइटेड हूँ.
All right, thanks guys. We are counting down less than 10 minutes until the PlayStation 5 event. Very exciting to see what Sony has in store for us. The live feed right now from them is literally just the 4 PlayStation symbols glowing in blue, and there's no countdown clock around. We did our own countdown clock since Sony didn't, but we're excited to see what is in store for the event at the top of the hour. So again, about 9 minutes, and we'll run that live here and get excited about hopefully the future of games. But right now we've got another group of friends from the YouTube family joining us to share what they're looking forward to seeing. First up, we've got my friend Danny O'Dwyer from NoClip. If you haven't watched his incredible documentaries about the gaming industry on YouTube, you should. Hello, Danny.
Hey, what's up, man? You're too kind. I'm really excited. It feels like this has been a long time coming. Not since the Sega Saturn have we waited this long to see what a console looks like before it comes out. So yeah, fingers crossed we'll get some details soon.
Hopefully we'll see today, and maybe we won't. But yes, we'll all find out in about 8 minutes here. Also joining us from Game Ranks, Jake Baldino. Jake, how you doing, man?
Hey Jeff.
Thanks for having me. There is a raging thunderstorm outside. I'm hoping that's like a good omen here in New York.
Interesting. Okay. Well, everyone's should be inside anyways, right? Calling up the stream. There's 8 minutes left. All right, and also joining us is Aaron from the Game Grumps. What's up, Ego Raptor?
Hey man, how's it going,
How we
buddy?
doing?
Hey man, I'm all right. You know, I'm glad I can be here and make myself look bad by having my footage look like a VHS camcorder versus yours, which looks like the Tonight Show. So
it's all right. Hey, it's like you're just doing the retro vibe, right? The 8-bit vibe, right?
that's right, man. I'm trying to bring it back.
Throwing it back to the Crash Bandicoot days. All right. Well, Danny, Jake, Aaron, we are 7 minutes away. So you've heard what everyone else has said. The internet has had, it feels like, years to speculate on what Sony is about to reveal here. What are you guys? What are you anticipating? Like, what would excite you to open the show, or like what? I'm fascinated to see. Like, is it games? Is it the hardware? You said, Danny. Let's start with you. Like, what do you want to see today?
I think, like a lot of people, it's kind of time to see gameplay. Like, we've had tech demos, we've had trailers being shown. We're fairly close to the launch of this console, so it kind of feels like we should really start to see like extended gameplay clips. Obviously, there's certain titles that people really want to see. They want to see stuff return. They want to, they need a Miyazaki hit somewhere, be it Elden Ring or my Bloodborne tattoo has been tingling all morning, so I'm hopeful for something there. But I also think a lot of the stuff that has been said already in the show is just the sort of services angle of this. Like, are we going to start seeing PlayStation games on PC? What's their strategy for backwards compatibility going to be? What's the upgrade sort of situation? Xbox have this pretty powerful plan in place to allow people to basically buy the next gen version or get it for free. So I think they have to answer a lot of those types of questions to really start getting people on their side.
All right, so you got a big checklist. What about you, Jake? What does Sony need to do to deliver for you today?
For me, I want to see a sequel to the Order 1886. I know that's crazy, but I want to show up for my vampires and my werewolves. I think we need that. That would be fantastic. But I also just want to see third-party stuff. I know everybody's been talking about the exclusives, but I love when they sneak in some really exciting third-party games. There are rumors, of course. Some of them I'm taking with a grain of salt, but really, Konami properties showing up would be really exciting. That would be something really, really. I wouldn't cry, but I would get close. And then we also haven't heard anything from Star Wars for a while, so a nice little Star Wars surprise would be pretty sweet.
Okay, those are some interesting predictions for sure. Lots of opportunities there. Aaron, for you, what's going to make the magic for you in the next hour?
I'm a man who lives in the past. I want to see a sequel to Guitar Man for the PS2. I want to see some Chrono Trigger remake or sequel. I just want to see my favorites from way back in the day come back into a bright new tomorrow. You know what I'm saying?
That's honestly, it's a great point because there's so many classic franchises from the past that, like, even there was rumors at one point of like, oh, it's like Legacy of Kain going to come back, or like all these classic games, and like I love that, right? I mean, it's like even a couple years ago, Shenmue, like reaction got at E3, right? And like it's always a balance of like the new stuff, but also like the classic games that, been rumored for a long time, like Prince of Persia: Sands of Time at some point would be like remade, and I love that game back in the day. And whether that's a PlayStation thing or whenever it's going to happen, I hope it does, because there's like so many classic games that we lose because they're not always instantly playable and accessible, right? On PC to some degree they are, but on all these consoles, like look, a lot of people playing games they weren't even born when some of these things were coming out. So I think that's a great point to think of, like what they could bring back from the past, and do stuff. And Bluepoint that has done some awesome remasters. Certainly rumors that they're working with Sony on something. We don't know what it is, but hopefully some of that will be revealed. Do you guys, if they don't show the console or the hardware, is that a miss today? I mean, we saw the Xbox Series X at Game Awards. We've seen the controller. Like, are you going to be disappointed if you don't see the hardware today?
I feel like it's console hardware reveals, like the way they look, have been less and less interesting in recent years. Like I think looking at the Xbox Series X, it looks totally fine, but it's not the type of thing that we're like writing home to your mother about, right? So I don't know. I kind of feel like this one might be a little bit out there. Like the DualSense is kind of a crazy design. It's the most, I think, Sony stepped out of their comfort zone a little bit. I think it's one of these things like. If they don't, it's like the Streisand effect almost. Like they just need to show it so we can stop having to show it at this stage. How it looks, how that will factor into sales or anything, who knows? It's probably just marketing, but I think it'd be a shame if they didn't.
Jake, okay. So fair enough. Aaron, is it like you've seen the controller, which looks pretty cool, right?
Yeah, man, the controller's pretty dope. Like, I don't know if it's if it's indicative of like what the console is going to look like. If I can get a console that's just an abomination, like a 32X style, just like clicking in things from different and like 30 wires, I think I'll be pretty pleased, because I've got plenty of sleek, black, beautiful bricks on my my shelf, and I would really like something to stand out so I can be proud.
Yeah, that's the one thing I do like when I saw the controller. I'm like, it felt futuristic. Sometimes it's about like the console is almost disappearing, right? In like Xbox is sort of like it can disappear in your system, but that feels like, at least based on the controller, I'm like, that could be really interesting what PS5 looks like.
We need to bring back wood
like,
finish.
we'll see.
Like, what happened to wood finish, man? That was that was the jam. And if we're
And a
talking about like
handle.
the modern day thing now, where you
Handle's
go,
back,
yeah, bring back the travel with the console. I used to bring my GameCube around all the time, just carrying around that handle, man. That was
Mark Cerny unveils the handle. That'll be great. Anything is possible. No, and that's like, how much can you customize it, right? And like, is it just one? And a lot of people have asked about the controllers. Like, is there all that color? Are you gonna be able to get a black one? That's the stuff that I doubt we'll hear about today. But I don't know. Like, it's actually kind of exciting for me to watch something like this way. It's very odd because a lot of us are normally like in a big room with thousands of people, and there's the electric buzz of like, why is there a curtain on the stage, and what are they, is that an orchestra pit, or are they going to use that? And here we really have like, the sky's the limit about how this is going to start and how it's going to be presented. So it's kind of cool that everyone's being forced to innovate in a different way. Like, we're all gathering virtually here to do this. Sony, I think, has obviously had to pivot. I can't imagine this was their original plan of how they were going to do everything this year. So it'll be interesting to see. And I think a lot of these game teams have been working so hard from home to even prepare their trailers and their games. And like, sometimes we lose perspective of how hard it's probably been to pull this stuff together and finish these games and get them ready. So 30 seconds left to go, guys. Thanks for joining us. We're going to see all of you afterwards because we're going to react to it. So we'll all watch it live here. And we've got about 20 seconds until the stream's going to start. PlayStation right now says stay tuned. So we think things are going to begin. And we'll obviously run it for you guys live. So Danny, Aaron, Jake, thanks for joining us. We will see you guys on the backside here as we react to all things that Sony has announced for inside of this event. And as I said, we really don't know what to expect. We think they're going to be a bunch of games from hopefully both first-party and third-party studios, but how those are presented, how much gameplay we see, how many trailers we see, what is the story that Sony wants to tell us about the next generation of games? The subtitle is The Future of Gaming, which is obviously a very, bold statement. And hopefully Sony is going to deliver against that statement with a vision of where games are going to go and how we're going to play them in new or different ways in the next generation. Mark Cerny has certainly said Sony believes in console generations, and Sony has said, a lot of the games they're going to show, I think, are only probably going to work on PlayStation 5, whereas Xbox has said, a lot of their Series X games will work on the current Xbox. So you don't have to upgrade to play the games. Jim Ryan, the head of PlayStation, has said, we do believe in those generations and giving people things that are only on PlayStation 5. So that's obviously setting a very high bar for what they're going to deliver to say that this is only possible on PS5. So we will all watch together, I guess, and see the event. We are obviously watching the feed here live, and as soon as we go live with the event, we're going to be able to present it to all of you guys live right here on YouTube.
Now we know it's E3, Jeff,
right now, and it's saying,
late.
Stay tuned. So we will all stay tuned as we wait here. hopefully the thunderstorm in New York isn't impacting anything. Jay.
Wait, hang on. I need to feel included.
There you go.
Okay, now I'm ready to go.
Wait for the whole hour to do that, which is great. All right, here we go. The event's about to begin. Enjoy it live right here on YouTube.
Different choices, how we might have ended up? No. I like the hand we've been dealt. You, me, together, we were destined for something great.
Why did I move here? I guess it was the weather. Or I don't know, that thing. That magic. I thought we was trying to get out of this bullshit.
I'm sounding more and more like a snee-eye itch every day.
My job, my score, get your own.
We should talk about work. Be out here gang banging like it's 91. We all love thanks. Get me a DJ. Give me a hand with these bodies.
This cannot be traced back to me.
Champagne, anyone?
Sort of smash things.
Now what?
It was
great to kick today off with a look back at just some of the seminal moments of the last 25 years. And what better way to bridge our past and our future than with a game that's graced every PlayStation console, Grand Theft Auto. It's been a privilege partnering with Rockstar Games for many years now, and we're thrilled to open today with the news that that partnership will continue with PlayStation 5. It's now just over a year since we began sharing technical details of PlayStation 5, but today's the day that we've been looking forward to for years, where we get to show you just some of the games that demonstrate our belief that PlayStation 5 marks the biggest generational transition our industry has yet seen. The content we've curated for today's event showcases how PS5 has inspired developers to create new experiences that are transformative in how they look, sound, and feel. Enough from me. We're going to have the games do our talking.
A hero's just someone who doesn't give up. Your dad said that. He was right. Now it's your turn. Go be a hero, Miles.
Okay, let's do this.
Feeling just don't stop me now. Tryna hate on us.
今日は皆さんに僕らが作っている新しいグランツーリスモの情報をシェアできるということですごく興奮しています。今回のグランツーリスモはおそらくこれまでのねグランツーリスモのファンの方がプレイしたら本当だっていうキャンペーンモードを中心にしたグランツーリスモになっていると思います。ぜひ楽しみにしていてください。
You all right back there? No way. It appears dimensions are collapsing on one another. If we cannot get to right, the ship. I mean, we can't be that far. I have it in my sights. They have found us, Ratchet. How do I steer this thing? Ask nicely. Slow down, please. That's my. The dimensions are weakening considerably. How bad is it? Well, it is certainly not good. Right. Where are we? Beats me. Beast! We've been boarded! Get off me, ship! Out of reach! Why? No! Ratchet, we are too late. Ratchet? Who?
Hi, I'm Marcus Smith, creative director at Insomniac Games. The entire studio is so excited to be able to share with you a first ever look at Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart. A brand new, full-length, interdimensional adventure built from the ground up for the PlayStation 5. We're doing things we've never been able to do before, like use dimensional rifts to be able to leap from planet to planet nearly instantly, or put ray trace reflections on Clank. All of our alien worlds are filled with density and life previously unseen. Plus, Ratchet's all-new arsenal is more exciting than ever thanks to the DualSense controller and hand feedback. Ratchet and Clank are near and dear to our hearts at Insomniac, and we can't wait to share more with you in the future. But for now, here's another look.
Did you see that?
It's Ratchet and Clank.
Sand sharks from above.
Nice sand shark! Nice sand shark! My heroes!
Is that a kraken? Or at least a very large octopus. I will never get used to that. Hey, check me out. Did Dr. Nefarious really resurface after all these years just to try and take over the universe again? Yeah! I kind of wish he was doing a worse job! He must have more plans than... That's all of them.
Making games used to be about these constant trade-offs between the artistic vision and technical limitations. With PS5, we're not going to be burdened like that. We're going to be able to realize artistic vision a lot better. It's got a ton of horsepower, which is very easy to unlock, and it's a machine that's really easy to develop on. The PS5 will present a paradigm shift as to what players will come to expect from gaming. It will let us tell stories, make worlds, create gameplay that I think will truly captivate the player and really surprise quite a few people. Please take a look at this new franchise for Worldwide Studios, coming exclusively for PlayStation 5.
Over and over, I relive my first moments on this alien planet. Attack. Death. Crash. The attack. My death. In this endless cycle. Even death is no escape. Each time I awake, this planet seems somehow as if changing. This world is become memories. The longer I spend here, the more I can feel my sanity slip away. But I cannot lose hope. My only choice is to keep fighting. To keep looking for answers. My only hope is to break the cycle. Before the cycle breaks me.
Looking to settle some scores and crush anyone in his way. Ultimo Barricado! Challenging him is John and a whole host of heavy hitters. It's time for Destruction All-Stars! No battle, no race, no fame. We're rolling again. This is the comeback. Dapping the comeback. I bring the full blocks and you bring the rap bands. Ready the keys for the Tobias meatball. I'll be the top one and you can rag on. Back in the mic, well, action of election. Sports of election. I'm up breaking the strategy. I get the best of get it. Over the back. Boom, boom, bang, and you relax. You know, you are the better than me. Cause I am the real deal. Hey, this is my game. You won't be afraid of me. I'm the hey, set up my cage in the dominant. Period. Never, nothing, number one. No battle, no break, no game. That's made of broken break. No battle, no break, no fame. You're going again. No game. That's made of broken no battle, no race, no fame. Again.
Hello everyone, my name is Josh Greer and this is my brother Mike. We're from Ember Lab, a small team with a background in film and animation.
And we're very excited today to share with you the first look at our new game. It's a story full of adventure and charm that has themes in personal growth and redemption. So please enjoy.
I know you are kind. You sense the power that flows through this land. Yet, you do not fully understand it. Driven by the belief that you can help these troubled spirits. But you cannot hide your weakness from me. You have no power here, Kena.
You ever feel like you're just waiting for a sign? To do that thing you've always meant to do. Sometimes I feel like I'm just standing on the edge of doing great things. but something's holding me back. Maybe it's just nerves. Maybe it's the fear that I'll never be as good as what I imagine, when I'm still just standing on the edge. But if we've got nothing else to lose, might as well jump.
This time there won't be this is the only way. And when we go,
I'm Lauren Lanning, and I'm here to share with you a game that I've been dying to make. It's an emotionally engaging story where rescuing is rewarding, failure is devastatingly hilarious, memories should last you a lifetime. Take a look.
you are no longer a slave, Abe. They believed, trusted, followed, and it led them here. You may have escaped the murderous blades, but the fate of your entire people is up to you. You must find your full voice.
PlayStation 5によって我々の考える東京のビジュアルを実現できました。今までに見たことのない東京の魅力を見て、聞いて、感じることができます。これからお見せするのはゴーストワイヤー東京の世界初のゲームプレイ動画です。スーパーナチュラルでミステリアスな東京、そこに潜む驚異と美しさを感じ取っていただけると思います。ぜひお楽しみください。
You see things others can't. Your threats, others don't. Fight when others won't. Up to you to say.
Make way for the king for a long stretch, no limousine. If you talking one that's gotta intervene, I'm the biggest one that those you ever seen. I'ma need a crown. I'm the only one that ever held it down. At the top, people flip flop every day. Not I top 5. I'm a big shot. I'm the one that wanna take the big shots, big balls, big rings, big rock, big bag, big moves, big cars, big man, big plan, big off. In this wall. Look at me now, held me down. Give me the crown. Make it for the king. We're not the same, we're not the same. We're not the same, we run everything. We're not the same, we're not the same. They ain't got us running through these things. Make way for the king.
It was always going to end like this. All your hard work, all your sacrifice, only sped up the process. And now, you find yourself alone. Only death awaits.
Hakanabrak here from IO Interactive. In Hitman 3, Agent 47 is back for his most intimate and professional contract. Entire career.
What's up, everyone? I'm Zion Mears to the New Orleans Pelicans. Here we go. The season operations.
I ain't trying to break you down. For real, you might as well give them now. You got a chance, but I don't see how. Got a real tight grip when I hold that crown. I'm the first one in, the last one out. Whoever owns the place gotta drag me out. I don't understand when I say, you better just run for your life. Run for your life.
Amazing, aren't they? A bug, a very recently discovered species, entirely unique to this island. Oh, this one's lively. Beautiful seed patterns. Oh, and it's tasty too. Welcome to the island of bug snakes.
Like a dog and kind of snack, try to come and then you trap. Feed somebody and they'll see me or whatever we do. Find them hiding in the sand, tearing up a catch and touch. Come to snap to Thailand and discover it's bug snacks. It's bug snacks. Talking about bug snacks. It's bug snacks.
My invitation is open. Come join me on the island of
Liz! Hey, I was trying to carry a lamp with my weenie hands, but I dropped it, and now the town's on fire.
Oh, again?
It's bug snacks.
Hi everyone, thank you for being with us today for this very special event. But before we get to the end of the show, I have something very near and dear to me.
Deathloop is a next-gen first-person shooter of rival assassins locked in a time loop. This is our unique vision, what Arkane is all about. Freeform immersive gameplay, a surreal player-driven story smashed together. Want to see some stylish action? Check this out.
My predecessor, has been pronounced guilty of treason. He is to be shot on sight henceforth in perpetuity. Your assistance is appreciated and mandatory. The real point of that is death.
Not making this easy.
It's cold! You're ready to look! I'm already!
Good morning, Black Reef. Another day, another day. Our time moves fun. For everyone else on this island, this place is paradise. A never-ending party where hunting me is the main attraction. No matter how I try to escape, they always cut me down. But I'm one stubborn motherfucker. Every loop I'm piecing together a puzzle. There's 8 targets. They all gotta die before midnight. There's just one little snag.
You thought it was going to be easy?
Juliana Blake, Black Reef, and a real pain in my ass. They kill me 1,000,000 times, but eventually, inevitably, I will break this
fucking loop.
I don't like watching you die. I like killing you. There's a difference.
Long ago, a young girl went with her mother to pick berries for her father, who was hard at work. But the forest greeted them with a dark, cold silence. The bushes empty. Yet determined to find the berries, the rascal broke free of Mother's grasp and vanished into the trees. Mother's worried cries faded fast as the girl ran on, over vine, under branch, and into the forest.
What is it with that creepy story?
It's just a local tale.
You're really into that stuff?
Quit being so paranoid.
Friendly! Friendly! Who are you? Who sent you? What's going on? They're coming. Who is? Chris? Sorry, Ethan. Why?
dessert.
Freedom. Our freedom.
The old ones perished 1,000 years ago. Their great space came new life. And new dangers. I must find a way to stop it. Or it will get worse and worse. Until it destroys us all. There's nothing I wouldn't do to save this world. No depth I won't explore. No secret I won't unlock. No barrier I won't cross. This mission is mine alone. If I falter, if I fail, there won't be anyone left to stop what's coming. Whatever comes. I will.
On behalf of the entire team at Gorilla, we're happy to share the first look at Horizon Forbidden West.
We're continuing Elga's story as she moves west to a far future America.
To brave a beautiful but dangerous frontier masked with mysterious new threats.
Get ready to explore distant lands ravaged by massive storms.
And take on new, powerful machines as you return
to the majestic world of Horizon.
Stay tuned for much more. We can't wait for you to get your hands on it.
I think there's a lot to look forward to for the community. I think fans are going to be really pleased.
As a game designer and storyteller, this is incredibly exciting. We're talking a whole new generation of ideas and experiences that we can create for the player.
No matter where they are, no matter who they are.
New experiences like we've never had before. More iconic, interesting characters, more atmospheric, immersive worlds for players to explore.
We want to wow players.
Expect the unexpected, and I, for one, can't wait.
Can't wait.
We can't wait to share them with you.
It's so exciting.
Incredibly exciting.
It's really about love
For the players and for the players.
As a developer, amazing feeling to have.
Welcome to PlayStation 5.
We hope you enjoyed the first glimpse of our future today. You've seen our most striking console yet, and you've seen games that could only be enjoyed with the full range of PlayStation 5's features and power. At PlayStation, we believe in generational transitions, and we put years of work in making them happen. We want you to enjoy the unique benefits of moving from one generation to the next. Thank you for joining us. We're launching later this year, and we have tons more to share. Welcome to PlayStation 5.
Whatever comes. I will be ready.
There it is. Play has no limits. I guess that's the new tagline for PlayStation. Wow. A pretty incredible event. The reveal of the PlayStation 5 hardware at the end there looks pretty interesting and cool. I want to see it in person. But a pretty incredible showcase of both big games from huge studios and also smaller studios inside of that presentation. There is a lot to unpack. And welcome to the post show. We're going to be recapping a lot of that news. We'll have special guests joining us. A bunch of developers you just saw there will be joining us to talk about some of the games that we got to see in that presentation. And of course, some top YouTube creators from around the world will join us to talk about it as well. But amazing. My reaction is one of excitement for a lot of the games that we got to see, starting Miles from Insomniac, which is really like Ratchet and Clank. I gotta say, I was just blown away by that new Ratchet game. I think it was one of my favorite games in that presentation. It looked great, and then of course Horizon from Gorilla. So first party titles, but then a ton of amazing things. New stuff from Capcom. A lot of exciting new titles too. Right, Dr. Dad guys doing something new. There's so much to talk about. I don't even know where to begin, but I think the hardware is one of the most exciting things that we got to see. And as you were here for the pre-show, everyone was kind of speculating what was it going to look like on the hardware side. Were they going to show it? Well, they did. Anyways, well, let's get right to reactions here, and we can all talk about this with some other folks. Joining me again, we've got Danny, Jake, and Aaron. Guys,